This art piece is 3 feet by 5 feet, and I created this as my journey log from birth, death, and rebirth retreat in Mexico in June 2025. The themes that I explored here are: first, what needs to die in my life? Which then asks, what is truly authentic to me? And another theme is, speaking of authenticity, my ancestors, Korean lineage, and shamanic traditions, along with protections and guidance. So with that, the story here begins in 2019. On the top left, you see a bell. I first saw this bell at an ayahuasca ceremony in 2019. And behind the bell, there is a door. During that ceremony, I heard a voice. Do you want to open this door? Because if you do, you will become really powerful. And I said, nope, because I knew that power comes with responsibility, and I was not ready for that responsibility. And 6 years later, during the death retreat in 2005, the bell and the door returned. And this time I was ready to open it. And I realized that the door symbolizes my own death. It's a death of a version of myself. So after the retreat, when I came home, I have been facing the death of my role as a Hoffman teacher, one of the roles that I hold professionally. And it's been a really challenging decision to let go of this role, because as an Enneagram social type 3, my identity has been deeply intertwined with this work. And it's really scary to ask, if I am not teaching at Hoffman, who am I? So it took me some time to really face my own reality and to accept and choose what is the highest truth for myself. And I allowed myself to grieve the end of this chapter. So with that, I now feel really excited to welcome this empty space, to dedicate myself to exploring consciousness and creating art like this. And that is my rebirth. This process of dying and being reborn will continue. It's an endless cycle of the wheel of life. Either my body is alive or not. During my retreat, in the first ceremony, I felt myself born into every life imaginable. And as a soul, it was exhilarating, taking form just to experience everything that humanity offers. And I saw that love is at the root of all things. And when love is warped by fear, then it was creating suffering. Through countless lifetimes, I realized that I may forget all the insights during the retreat and during the ceremony. So I told myself, if there's one thing to remember, it is compassion. So that is why I placed a vintage 35 milliliter movie reel at the center of this art piece to represent that life keeps rolling like a movie. And I wrapped around the reel with stickers that has the word compassion, so that every turn is a reminder to have compassion. And I created this neon blue sign in the center to really bright compassion with the light blue, recalling the sky. Just to remind myself, just like the sky, compassion is that easily accessible and available. And I created this orange LED glow behind the reel to create warmth and invitation that this wheel of life will continue no matter what. But death is just part of life, so it is not to be feared. And behind all this, as the main figure in the background, there stands a Korean female shaman, which is my bridge to Korean ancestry and also my journey of authenticity. She carries bird feathers for protection and a drum like the one that I worked with at the retreat. She's both the guide and guardian, holding me safe as I walk these passages. And you see the bottom left, there is a black box. And this represents my experience at a festival in Poland in early August this year, where I encountered two strange figures when a portal opened up. In that experience, I felt dissociated and terrified, like I was trapped on a roller coaster of endless death and rebirth. So that box represents the shadow of my collective unconscious, maybe something that my mind created, or maybe an unwelcome spirit visiting. Either way, this Korean shaman holds her ground, protecting me from it. And lastly, if you look at the bottom of this reel, there is a tiny Lego figure. And this symbolizes my inner child. I placed her there to bring joy and silliness into this whole expression. Because even in the work of death and shadow, it can be playful. Because the healing doesn't have to be so heavy. It can hold humor and lightness as well. So this is my story. From fear to surrender and clarity, and from death to rebirth. Always and always to remember compassion.